Welcome everyone. So I'm here with Barry. So Barry's a good friend of mine. We've been going back for a decade plus. We've known each other for a long time. So we're in the same area right now. We're actually from the same area, but we don't live in the same area right now. So we thought we would shoot a couple collab videos together. And this is a good friend of mine, so we're just gonna go back and forth. We both love Cardano, right? By the way, we're both very bullish, and we've been talking about it since the beginning. And we have the text to prove. So we'll drop those texts when the bull market returns to make everyone feel good. But today's topic is going to be about a book called Outliers. I don't know how many people have read it. And I read it a while ago, and there's a section in the Outliers book, and we're just going to discuss this in the terms of investing. And basically the section in the Outliers book talks about the richest people in history. So it basically did this analysis, and the richest people in history, there's a disproportionate number of those kind of people that were born from the years 1850 to 1860. And this was because this was the start of the Industrial Revolution, and the railroad was here. So all the Carnegie Mellons and the JP Morgans and the Rockefellers, these are the kind of people that were born during this era and amassed a great amount of wealth. And the second era was actually people born in like 1950 to 1960, because by the time the internet came, they were between their 20s and 30s. And the reason why I bring this up today is because I think the third time in history where there's going to be a massive wealth gain by certain individuals is happening right now. People born from like the 80s to the 90s. You know, you guys are 20, 30 years old. Some might be younger. Millennials, exactly. Even the Gen Z babies to an extent.
Yes. Yeah, depending on how early you were in the 2000s,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, so like as far as what do you think is like a prime age? I mean, it's good not to be too young, because if you're too young, you don't have the capital to invest, or too old, you may not even care about it. But like, if you're, what do you think the age range for perfection during this time is? And you don't want to exclude everyone, because there's people that are investing that are in their 50s and 60s. But
like as a citizen of the United States, like that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
What type of age? Okay, so I'm in the United States. I would say anywhere from about 20 years old to about, I would say 20, 28, 29. So like a range of like 8 years, from 20 to about 28.
Okay.
And why is because on average, you get to your later years, the later 20s, you have people fill their life with things like children, careers. Some people get settled into their career, and that's also like the perfect prime age of energy. It's like the amount of energy you have to even put towards anything, like your career to make or earn more money, and also knowledge. Like those are probably like the most prime years for any person in America to gain as much knowledge as they can. So from 20 to about 28, and that's like the biggest like slides of knowledge, experience, and capital. So I think 20 to 28.
20 to 28. So. I mean, I kind of agree. Like the 20s is ideal for in like speculative investment, but like the advantages of being a little bit older, like maybe between 30 to 50, you may have more capital and you may have more access to funds. But the drawback is you may have children, so you don't want to...
Your risk.
Your risk to reward. You don't want to be like gambling as much as people in their 20s, or as in terms of your percentage of net worth.
Exactly.
So, but if you're like 30 to 50... and you have like a lot of money already, or you're making that transition to have a lot of money, it's probably perfect, because you probably have most capital than.
But then again, how long will it take? So if I'm 35, let's say, like in some ways the internet, right? It took about 9+ years for things to really start rolling in, for it to become an everyday use, within the world. So crypto is so early. It's really still very volatile. So if I'm 35, and I have to wait, let's say 15 years, and I'm 50 years old for my money to appreciate, to reach whatever goal I have. Yes, it's a good, I guess, retirement plan, I guess I would say, or like it's a great way to go out.
Yeah.
But then again, if I'm 20, you know, by the time 15 years come by, 21, you know, I'm still mid 30s. So I have a lot of life in me. Now I can actually enjoy the fruits of my labor. So that's why I said, like, that's why I picked younger ages, because it's not all about making the money. Because, you know, if I gave you $1 billion at 89 years old,
what's the purpose?
Yeah, what's the purpose? What's the point?
Yeah. No, I mean, you make a good point. But we're on accelerated timescales here, so everyone should feel like it's not going to happen in 15 years. It's going to happen a lot sooner than that. You know,
Yes.
I would say max 3 to 5 years, to tell you the truth, max, before an epic just transformation. Things are moving quickly.
I'll give it longer than that.
Longer than
I'll
that.
give it. I'll take 5 from your end. Make that my beginning.
Okay.
And I'll say 5 to about 9. 5 to 8. 5 to 8 years.
5 to 8. So
5 to 8 years.
we're in 2019. So you're saying like 2024?
Yes. Because
for adoption or another price appreciation?
Adoption. Because price appreciates to me, like, I know that it's like anything in the world. Like, majority of the time, the reason people, like, you know, pious isn't pious because, you know, it's pious. It's because God's love pious. So, huge prices. So, like, let's say Bitcoin or whatever, Cardano. Let's say Cardano goes to $40 for one. You know, just saying, you will see a lot more people jumping into that project because it's a bigger tag on it. It's just a, you know, it's even when I first started, you know, buying cryptocurrencies or whatever, getting into it, I looked and I'm like, I don't want Litecoin. I want Bitcoin because, you know, I just see a bigger number. I see a bigger price. I see a bigger tag. So that's what really attracts the people. Well, not the people, but majority of people. You know, they see, it went from 100 to 10,000. They're just looking at that final number. They're not really looking at it went from a penny to $10. They're looking at it went from 100 to 10,000 or whatever.
Percentages are important.
Yeah, they're not looking at the percentage gains. They're just looking at, okay, this is at 20,000. That's huge. When really Bitcoin was nowhere near the top performer of 2017 or 2018 in any retrospect. So
that is true. That is true.
So 5 to 8. The reason why is because even with, like, say, proof of stake. How many forks are we going to see with proof of stake now? You know, so you have to also account, like, Bitcoin had a lot of obstacles in its road. You know, with, like, scams, you know, exchanges just taking people's money, stuff like that. So you have to also give time for these new projects to go through that growing stage as well. Like, things will be a lot more regulated in the future. Like, you're right, we're on a more sped up process here, timeline, but life happens. So we don't know what's going to happen to certain dev teams.
Yeah.
Certain people may disagree on something and split up. Or, you know, this may happen within this cryptocurrency project that may slow up or add certain regulations that may be unattractive to conglomerates or, like, investors, period.
Okay.
You know, there's things in this world and within the news that's going to spread FUD or whatever, and it'll affect the growth.
Okay. Maybe we can talk about that in the next video. Let's focus on growth in the next video and see what could be what potential roadblocks for proof of stake there are.
Right.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Leave your comments below. Tell us what you think. And until the next video, thank you.
Thank you.